Hi, it's Greg on here with MaritimeGardening.com. I thought I'd do another one of them gardening tours. Come along and have a look with me. Alright, so we're going to begin at the beginning. There's nothing going on in these beds. I've harvested all the potatoes and the pumpkins and everything else. These are done. So that part of the garden is over. Parsnips are still growing here and doing pretty good. Maybe I'll pull one in this video just to have a look-see. I'll do that towards the end. The Vessi Seeds parsnips, right? These are my saved seeds. These are the Vessi Seeds ones. Maybe we'll pull a couple and have a look this video to see what's going on there. These two center gardens I turned into strawberry gardens. I did a video on the far one there, and this one I did that same day afterwards. It probably took about 25 minutes, right? And as far as I can tell, they're still zoom in a bit here, but they're still looking good, right? Still looking alive. So I'm going to leave them like this till probably December, and then cover them over with some hay, and hopefully they'll make it through to next year. Usually works. Over here, what do we got growing here? I'm just going to walk around and show you what's growing. Actually, show you every little thing. I got some carrots here. These are like a short, stubby variety. These have turned out good. I should have thinned them a bit better, but you know, I'm getting some half-decent carrots, but it's a short, stubby variety, right? They're very sweet. I planted these very late in the season, so if you're planting, I'm probably like very late May. So if you're going to plant late in the season, if you have a short growing season, plant short ones. I'll show you some of my bigger ones on the other end that I planted early in the season. Those were like an Imperator type variety, and those ones, some of them, I just ate one today. It was maybe 3 inches or more at the crown and a good 9 inches long. And one carrot fed my wife and I. We made a stir fry for lunch, and is there an ant on my get out of there. There's some sort of bug on my lens. Over here I got some kohlrabi growing here. This garden had kohlrabi and eggplant, and I mean, some of these are pretty good, right? They're ready to be harvested, right? There's a good one there, right? It's probably 6 inches long by a good 4 or 5 inches wide, right? And they're ready to be harvested. You want a good frost, and you want to harvest them, and you use them in soups and stuff like that. I'm not crazy fond of them, but I always plant some every year. You can also pickle them like the way I do the lacto-fermented cucumbers. You can pickle them that way as well. I still prefer pickled cucumbers to pickled kohlrabi. I don't remember planting this spinach, but seems to have grown. I believe this is a Lucilis variety spinach. They're very tough spinach. I have two different varieties of spinach in my garden. I've got this Lucilis, and I've got one called Silverado. And the Silverado seems to be very frost sensitive. It's a very good, vigorous growing Swiss chard. But I just put this dome on today because the good thing about these domes is that they're kind of like portable cold frames. You can put them wherever you want as long as all your gardens are, the gardens on this side of my garden are 4 feet wide, and I designed these domes to accommodate all of these beds here. So I can pop them wherever I have something growing that's sort of cold frame appropriate. So I just popped this on today to see if I can get another month out of my Swiss chard, because I find the frost doesn't kill the plant, but it kills the foliage, and it's the foliage that I want. So let's have a look under here. But these guys are still looking good, right? But it's only October, and it's even today it's over 10 degrees Celsius today. So I mean they're fine. But it can't hurt to have a little bit of heat in here, right? That garden where I did the trench composting, so I covered that over now with some grass from my lawn. So that's basically not going to do anything there till February. Sometime late February I'll sow my kale here underneath one of these domes, and hopefully it'll germinate probably by March. I've done this before and it seems to work. If you look at my winter videos from last year, I use this sort of technique. Although I modified the technique, I got a really good idea for how to make this work even better next year. Of course, my Siberian kale, red Russian kale, and lacinato. It's actually called Black Magic. It's a Vessi seed variety provided by my sponsor, Vessi Seeds. it's those are doing good. All the kale's still growing fine, and I'm still harvesting it. And actually, I've got so much on these. I mean, these ones over here are 2 feet high, right? These Siberian kale. This is a great variety of kale, and I got so much here. I got to pick some today and blanch and freeze some more, which is great, right? You want that. You want more than you can possibly eat, so you can freeze it and put it aside and have it all winter long. This is the garden I took down with the machete. I actually think I'm going to plant garlic here, so I shouldn't have mulched it. But anyway, it's easy enough to take off and put back on. That's where the garlic was last year. This is the asparagus that I direct sowed this spring. It's doing great. I wish I'd sown more. Over here we've got my Jerusalem artichokes, and they're starting to die, and you want to wait till they're sort of a little more dead than this. As the plant dies, it sends more sugars down to its roots to survive the winter, and it's the root part that you're eating. So you want it to be as sweet as possible. So I'll do a video where I pull some of these up and I show you what they look like and so on. It's a great crop, very low maintenance, very easy to grow, very tasty, although it does give you some pretty intense gas, and anyone that says it doesn't either has a special digestive system or they're not human, because yeah, as they say, they're called Jerusalem artichokes, but they should be called Jerusalem fartichokes, because that's pretty much what happens with them. But they are very tasty, and they're easy crop to grow. My apple tree, the apples still aren't ready. They got a lot of this spots. The flesh inside is still good. They look a lot worse than they actually are. There's a way to treat them to avoid that. Use an antifungus, but I didn't bother this year. Maybe next year. I mean, I'm not selling these right now. I can just peel them and eat them, so it doesn't matter to me. They're still good on the inside. But boy, I got a pretty heavy yield this year. Look for a small tree. Right? The tree's only a few years old, but this branches right down to the ground. So I got some stuff going on in my cold frames. I sowed some spinach in this one just a week ago. It's a bit late for doing that, but we'll see what happens. I moved some of my kale into this one to see how they do over the winter, and hopefully they survive the winter so I can have them go to seed the next year. I used a did a video recently on the technique I use to keep these warm. I don't know if I'll put that video up before or after this garden tour, so stay tuned if it's not up already. Outside the garden, I got some pumpkins under this cold frame, and everything else is dead. So that's nothing going on out here. Interesting to note, though, that there was an episode where I pulled, I found a pumpkin that had been half eaten by a bear. I left it out here outside the garden enclosure. That's it right there. Nothing's come back to work on it. So I'm guessing that it was a bear, and it tried it, and it didn't like it, which is great. I don't want him coming back for more. I still have some potatoes to pick over there. I might do that today if I'm not too sore by that point in the day. I got a lot of stuff I want to do. Alright, so here's where my carrots and parsnips are and all that sort of stuff, and I said I'd pull a carrot or two and have a look at how things went. So these are ones I thinned. So here's one. Looks like a good one to me. Of course I'm going to pull a big one, right, so I can brag, but let's have a look. So that's a nice one. There's my hand, right? There's the size of that. That's about 2 inches at the top and about 6 inches long. Let's see if we can get another good one in here. Yeah. That's a good one. Yeah, so I got some nice carrots this year, right? These are beautiful. I can't remember the variety. I'll look it up. These are the Vessi Seeds variety of carrot. I'll look it up and put it on the screen. But really happy with these. I'm definitely going to order more of these and plant more for next year. Okay, here's the parsnips that I planted last fall in November, I believe. Let's pull one and see what we got here. It's still a bit early to pull parsnips. We had some for Canadian Thanksgiving, which was last weekend, the first weekend of October. But for a maintenance-free plant, these were pretty good. Oh, of course that's not going to come out. Let's try this one. Oh no. Oh, of course it's going to be difficult. Man, that's in there. Alright, this is all shaky. I thought this would just come out. Oh. And of course I'm using my weak hand. Come on, man. Not a bad one there. Of course I gotta pull the one next to it because I broke that one off too. What a weird shape that one took. Anyway, those are my save seed ones. Not bad. No work at all really. Just put some seeds down and put seaweed over them. Left them there all winter. So that worked. I don't know if there's any real monsters in there. I guess I'll have to pull them all to really know what the final verdict is. But I think this one here is about average. So we're talking maybe 1.5 inches at the crown. There's probably a couple bigger than this, but I think this is more average. Anything over here that's particularly huge? That one seems pretty good. Of course, this one's going to break off. Oh, no. My goodness. No, it's about the same. Nothing special. So a little bit more, right? So maybe 2 inches at the crown for that one. All right, so there's my save seed one. All right, so that's 1 point for self-sufficiency. Now let's see what my top of the line Mercedes-Benz Vessi seeds. I'm playing this up, but the packs are like $2, $2.99 at the most, right? Let's see what we got from Vessi seeds here. I can just tell by looking at these. I've been monitoring over the course of the year that they're bigger, so there's no real suspense for me. So let's see what we got here. Let's pull one. There's one that's actually not bigger. It's whiter, that's for sure. Whiteness matters. There's a good one there. Let's have a look at that guy. Nope. This guy looks big. Let's have a look at this guy here. Ooh! Now that's not a bad one. That's pretty good. That's the shape I like, actually. I don't like the long, narrow ones, because after you've peeled them and stuff like that, you actually don't get a lot. I like these sort of almost beet-shaped ones, these short fatties like this. For me, that's the ideal shape for a parsnip. And I know I talk a lot about parsnips this time of year, but they are really good. I'm actually going to do a video on these because I don't think they get enough play. I got an idea, I got a concept in mind for a video on parsnips, so stay tuned for that. If you're not growing these, get them going, they're great. I'll talk about all the reasons why in that video. But anyway, to sum up, I think the Vessi seeds ones, generally speaking, have outgrown. And I planted these in the spring, and I planted these in the fall. No real advantage to planting in the fall. Maybe I'll plant some Vessi seeds ones this fall and see what happens with them. I'm going to be doing that very soon, in fact. Anyway, I'm happy with them. I'm happy with all of them, right? But yeah, look at that guy. That's more of these is exactly what I like. All right, so that's where we are. The close to the middle of October, 2018. Still lots going on, lots of things to harvest. Some success stories, some regrets, of course, but that gives you your best ideas for next year's garden. So it's always good to have regrets. Never a bad thing for a gardener. And some projects, you know, this time of year is one of my busiest times in the year. There's nothing you have to do on any particular weekend, so you're not under any sort of stress or pressure. But I find myself when I get up on a Saturday morning, it's like I got 1,000 things I want to get going. And I almost didn't film anything today because I had so many things I wanted to do out here today. So yeah, never an end of things to do, lots of excuses to get outside, get some fresh air, and get at it. So I hope that gave you some good ideas and gave you some food for thought for next year's garden. And if you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe. Check out my podcast, maritimegardening.com. And until next time, get out there, get at it, have fun in your garden. Thanks for watching.